Hi guys, it's me, just Lindsay again, and for this video that I'm gonna be dedicated to Asian History Month in May of 2026, I shall be doing a bit of a redo of this movie because I love it so much, and because I want to do a thing about pigs during the spring months. For some odd reason, I did it. I started doing a thing about pigs during that time. During a bunch of super pigs were coming over from Canada or something years ago. So I just want to do it for that. But the real reason why I want to do this movie again is because I had a little error with my hard drive years ago, and when I reviewed it for the first time years ago, it got destroyed. So here we go. I'm going to do a review again of the movie Okja. Now, this is a Korean movie directed by Mr. Bon Joon-ho, I think his name is. Anyway, this movie is really spectacular. I cannot guarantee that I won't cry through it because it's a really emotional movie, especially with the main actress in the movie, Miss Seo-hun. I'm sure I butchered that name up, and I know there's a way of putting the names in English, because I know that with Asian names, in particular Korea, China, and Japan, the naming scheme is with the last name first. So that might be a little bit of a whoopsie on my part, or whatever part, because I know that it's spelled either way. But still, this is a good movie, and the kid plays a teenage girl. Sure, she plays a teenage girl, even though I would buy that the movie it's a 10 to 12 years old. So yeah, okay, I'll buy it. Anyway, she plays a kid named Mija, and I don't know if it's on purpose that the last two letters of the name are the same last two letters of Okja, but it's pretty cool that I noticed it. I don't think there's a connection, but anyway. And Mesa is in charge of taking care of this pig in Okja. And the thing is that Okja is like a super bred pig, and that again it's really big. Like, I'm talking like the size of a hippopotamus, and it's got like a very mild temperament, like a puppy dog, and it's supposed to be bred so that each class it produces fabulous tasty meat, for all your needs. Plus, it poops less than you would think for something that size. It poops little rabbit pellets about the size of a human fist, which comes in handy later on in the movie. Trust me, it's pretty funny, pretty endearing, and kind of sweet too. But it's kind of stupid at the same time because this movie is really made for mature audiences, and believe you me, it does get pretty bad, pretty graphic too. Yeah. I'll get into that when I get into that. Yeah. Wait, this will give you nightmares for sure. And it's much more of a It's your typical kid gets an animal, and then, you know, the animal imprints so much on the human being and vice versa that you're just so happy when they get together again at the end, and it's a happy ending. But the fact that this girl thinks nothing of money, fame, fortune, whatever else, popularity, she just wants to make sure that Okja is alright. And you do too as an audience member, unless you're somebody with no heart. And this movie is really a roller coaster emotionally. Anyway, her grandfather wins like a contest by which this super pig gets to go to live with them in the farm and grow up and whatnot. And it's like supposedly out of the 26 pigs that were chosen for this, they were sent around the world and stuff as piglets, and then within 3 years they're supposed to reach mature size. And Okja just happened to be picked for this family to farm, which not to crap on any Korean farmers out there, but this farm, which Okja is sent to, is what I wouldn't consider it the best farm in the world for it, in Korea at least. I could think of a lot more productive farms for it. But the fact of the matter is that they do have it in several behind, because the kid actually does fall off a cliffside, and the pig Okja does save her life. And the effects are pretty good for this, because they show the pig actually flinging her off back onto the cliffside where it's safe, and the pig itself falls down into the ground. But because it's just so large and so bulbous and so tough, the skin's so tough, it can land on the feet where hurting itself. And that's very important. Now, we also have Jake Gyllenhaal, who is like the face of the company, and the president of the company. It plays a double role, because Lucy and Nancy, Lucy's more optimistic, more happy / naive member of the family, and Nancy is the more business oriented, I must get my top dollar type, by the book person. And she's played brilliantly by Tilda Swinton. Now, I gotta admit, Miss Tilda Swinton has been known to pick some very odd movies, like, for example, The Dead Don't Die from my hometown. But let me just say this, she is one of the nicest people I could think of in Hollywood. When I went to go get her autograph, she actually gave me a hug, and she signed my autograph, such an autograph for me for Constantine. So she's okay by my book, but very, very weird movies she picks, along with very weird costumes she picks too. She has in the wardrobe. So anyway, Okja is this company's technical property. So the grandfather gives the little girl a solid gold miniature pig for to trade for Okja. And when Jake Gyllenhaal come by, I forgot her name in the movie, but she's like happy and probably gay too, like into men gay, and he go over to talk to her and get Okja to come with him for testing and whatnot. And he brings the television crew like you would expect from a TV host. You bringing the bunch over to interview this pig with the little girl too, as like the showrunner and stuff. Of this is the person that raised the pig from a little piglet into what we see now and all that stuff. So anyway, the grandfather always sold the pig to the company again to make a lot of bank, and I'm sure that there's also a lot of money. And she doesn't want the pig to go, which is really heartbreaking, but business is business, right? So they kind of force the kid to separate from the pig, and they trick her into doing something else on the farm somewhere, while the guy gets the Okja away from them. And meantime, it's real heartbreaking to see this happening, because once the little girl finds out what's going on, she runs up to the pig. Books it, and she catches up with the truck next day, and then gets on the roof of this truck on like a high type of a high type of like sidewalk type thing around the corner of the truck, and she's hanging on the roof of this thing. The driver of the truck is like, I don't give a fuck. They don't pay me enough for this. They don't give me medical insurance. They don't give me any driver's insurance. I just don't care. They don't give me any trouble, so I'm not gonna give a crap about my habits. And he's really funny. He's the guy. The guy next to him is like, are you sure that this vehicle can get under the bridge? It's like, I don't know. I don't care. They don't pay me enough to care. I don't care what happens to the truck. And notice that the bridge gets lower, and then the second one gets lower enough to the point that the little girl has to go off the edge of the truck onto the she must be related to James Bond or something, because this girl runs really fast. She can jump onto a moving truck and then hang on the back of the truck too. It's like, what on earth are these people feeding the Koreans that they can run like this and do all this stuff? She must have an iron grip on stuff. And I thought it was very funny. So then you see the little girl hanging out on the back of the truck, and she's like, no, I want my best friend back, because she's from the rural area of South Korea, where she doesn't have many friends to talk to. The only one that she bonds with is the pig. Which, yeah, let me just get the story out of the way before I forget it. This was made before I was been aware of the Family Guy episode where Stewie get the genetic of the pig for himself, and then Brian says, are those knuckles on it? Are those fists on it? Where it's supposed to be? So yep, and then he goes, it's a little pig, oink, pow, right in the kisser. So that would have been improper. Genetic of the pig for that sister. It'd be funny if that really did happen. the pig just went pow. You know, it's like a punch pow. So anyway, they have they have this kid hang out in the back of this truck for this animal, and then they have this other group called the Animal Liberation Front, or ALF, in honor of the alien ALF from the 80s and 90s. A show which I never watched, but I'm sure they probably got like a YouTube clip show of it somewhere or other, which is very funny. So anyway, they have Rooney Mara is in there, they have Paul Dano in there, and Stevie Young in there too, among other people too. Now, I will admit, I'm not really a master of Rooney Mara's work or anything, but I know she was in one of the movies of Peter Pan. A very casting choice, if you ask me, because I don't mind. I like Rooney Mara. I don't think that she would have been a good title person, because she's a Caucasian woman, and Tiger Lily is supposed to be a Native American princess, so kind of you gotta make better choices than that Hollywood. But anyway, I think that this role of hers as being an eco activist is actually a real good work for her. It's like the best for her. I think, even though it's like a relatively minor role in a movie like this, where she's not the main star. But in any case, they have her. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That wasn't Rooney Mara. That was Lily Collins. Very similar, but yeah. The thing about Tiger Lily and Peter Pan and stuff, that's what I'm still saying, but this one is Lily Collins. And by the way, I think that Lily Collins is excellent in this role. So anyway, they have the one part where oh yeah, I remember before the ALF comes into play, she escaped with the Okja into like a shopping mall area, like an underground shopping mall. But legitimate, when I say underground, I don't mean like the London Underground or like the underground resistance. I'm talking about like a little underground shopping area, which I'm sure is probably popular in Korea. So anyway, they go through it, and he ends up going through like a bunch of random stuff, shopping areas, stores, making a mess. And he realizes that these guys are actually good because they protect Okja. They protect them from they protect her from the tranquilizer darts the army people use, the police force use. They also take out the glass out of Okja's hoof foot. So it's unclear what that is, but it's an elephant foot. Not from a Chernobyl, but from the actual animal, an elephant's foot. And they actually have something where I'm just describing things after this part, but they had something where they had the ALF group following the truck with Okja in it, trying to make it escape, and then bumping into the truck on the side. And then the the team actually makes the truck stop, and the guy who's in charge of it says, "I don't care. They don't pay me enough to care." So, in the process of bumping the truck, they actually make the kid fall off the back of the truck, and then the kid ends up going chasing with Okja into the small area. So then that's where they protect him and all that, protect her and all that. Both lovely, but one's got a really big problem. So then they end up taking custody of Okja after the poop scene with the owner of the company worker over there is over there, and he's chasing after the truck with Okja in it, and to make matters even more silly, they end up Okja ends up shooting poop at the worker. And it's funny because this thing can really spray poop everywhere, like a shotgun or a machine gun. And then it's like, oh man, why the fuck did I have to get covered in shit? I was only 2 more days of retirement too. So anyway, I want to point out that the little girl ends up going to the actual place, the building where they were about to ship out Okja, and the girl's like up on the second floor of this building, maybe the third floor of the building, and the receptionist over there says to her, "Cut out, you little bitch, stay put." Now, that's very harsh language to talk to a little girl like that, even a teenager, to call a little bitch. I'm surprised you didn't use the C word to describe her. But anyway, they do that, and then kid miraculously books it to the bottom of the building, so running after the truck. So she's a fast runner. It's opposite early on in the movie. So anyway, when they get to Alf's headquarters in the hotel room, they talk to the little girl and they say that the Animal Liberation Front, and that we're trying to look out for Okja and all that. We're trying to protect him and you, and what would you like us to do? Would you like us to complete our mission of putting the camera behind her ear and then infiltrating the factory? We're asking your permission. Would you like us to complete the mission by putting a camera under her ear and then recording everything that goes on in the factory to her? Or would you just like to go back home? And this is where the human factor ruins it, because when it comes to activists, there's always a pure mission of we're trying to help the animals out, we're trying to save the animals, but then the human factor kind of ruins it a lot because they get mixed messages and whatnot. And one thing that she says is on the subtitles on, "I want to take Okja back to the mountains. Pure and simple. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to raise up my pig and all that, in safety and harmony and all that other good stuff." But the guy, the translator guy, Stevie Young, is so interested in completing this cool mission of this whole spy thing, this whole anti-government, anti-corporation type thing that they're up to. that he actually on purpose says, okay, we're good to go, we're going. She wants to complete the mission. Says, but we're going to fight behind just a year, and then record the whole ordeal. Yeah, nothing bad can happen with this. So meanwhile, Lucy is saying, why don't we make the little girl the face of the company? You didn't hold your out. You're being demoted. You're kind of sloppy and kind of drunk all the time. You're out. He doesn't take this very lightly. So when the Animal Liberation Fund give back Okja, and they want to, they set like a little trap for this person, and this corporation, they have Okja, they use him as like bait to reveal all the horrible treatment of animals and such. It's genetically modified creatures. And this guy goes out on a bender. His general goes on a bender. And then he gets drunk in the head and treats Okja like crap. He chases him, takes meat samples from her, and just in general, just a complete jackass for him. And then there's the famous breeding scene. Now, you know that with animals, especially cows, horses, sheep, goats, etc., we often force breed them with other high value animals, prize horses, prize studs, prize this and that to create more, to continue the lineage of good meat producers, good fast runners, etc., prize animals, etc. But this guy puts Okja with this horribly mutated, almost bursting at the seams, ugly, freak-ass creature, which is like the male equivalent to Okja. I think his name is Antonio or something like that. I forgot what it is, but he's a monster. He's a huge fucking monster. And the way they got this camera set up is that the camera actually looks backwards from the ear, so you can see all the thrusting of this beast onto Okja, and it's very heartbreaking to see it and to hear it, because we always think of this animal as being a gentle creature and bonding with a little girl, and to see him getting fundamentally raped by this gigantic creature that's bulbous and ugly and a real menace, just there to procreate, just horrible and heart-wrenching. And then to see them humping each other, it just, see the big guy humping her and her not wanting it, it's just really horrible, heart-wrenching, to the point that Lily Collins red, which, yeah, she got red hair, to turn the volume down, and they do. And then the guy K, Deviant's character, he reveals that Paul Dano's character that you just want to go home. We assumed that this would happen, but she wanted Okja to go home with her. And then he said that was a betrayal of a thing, because you want to complete this cool mission of, infiltrating this factory setting, and you want to see all these horrible things. So he ends up being the living tar out of the character, which, yeah, I could definitely see that. And at the same time, hear all the rape noises from the camouflage, I wanted to do it too, because that was a very dirty trick. Or because you wanted to complete your mission. That was a horrible thing to do. I don't know anyone that would actually want to do that to a creature like Okja. Especially for the fact that this thing is just a horrible aberration of human engineering. I mean, there are so many other ways that they could implant a baby piglet, or whatever you call it, into a jar from a sperm donor. For example, you could do all the turkey baster thing, or you could put the animal asleep, and then you could just implant him by not artificial insemination, but you could implant it into the animal's womb or something less painful and less graphic than seeing that giant monster raping that Okja. So anyway, this is all because he's a fucking idiot. And then right after that, he does a little, he tried to get the animal drunk, and then he tried to, then he said, I love animals. And then he put the shot of things to Okja, and then get samples from him or her to give to some people. And they say, it's the best meat I've ever had, from an old lady. And you know that the old lady had tried a lot of meat in years. So it's legit. So anyway, Lucy wants to have like a big parade, where she tells out that kid with Okja because it'd be a real heartwarming adventure and all that. Meanwhile, the Animal Liberation Front has other ideas, because they want to frame this woman for being the meat whore that she is. And they want to outline how horrible treatment is of Okja and her species, because there's like a whole army of them. In fact, right before they show all the horribleness of the animal rape scene and torture scene and whatever, they also show the misfires when it comes to the genetic creation of these artificial creations. One of them can use their back legs. Another one had like a whole bunch of tumors and pimples on their backs. A lot of them are like too big, too small, and whatever whatnot. So Okja's like the perfect member of her own species. She's like like I said, the oink pig from Family Guy, the best of the best. She's some pig. So anyway, they have they have the kid in like the dressing room, which I swear to God, the person that's doing her makeup is just like Devin Okja from Tokyo from Fast and the Furious 2. Anyway, she says, if you don't put on this dress that go trying out like everyone wants to, Okja will become like a big steak. So that's a very powerful thing. Either you do what we tell you to, or the animal dies, and you'll be the cause of it. So anyway, all this time she got like a little forgot what they call them. Not cats, little things that go around the waist, fanny pack, fanny packs, and she doesn't want anyone to touch it, or else. So in the meantime, on the foot over here, she's learned a little bit of English from a Korean book. Somebody thought it would be a nice little present for her. Okay. So then she is learning how to do English now. The funny is that people in the room, in the hotel room, I do pick up on this, and they say, somebody's been learning English, so you should be careful what you say around this girl, because otherwise you catch on to it. Okay. So, I think that the girl is wearing like a traditional Korean outfit, but I can't really see that for sure. Pink and black. So anyway, she's helping out. They set up for the parade and stuff, and it really reminded me of the setup that they have for the Dark Knight in the parade team for some reason. So then they have the little girl come out, and she's all happy and stuff. And then they have Okja come out. Now Okja is like been through the trauma that this guy torturing her and everything else. Like Appa from the Avatar Last Airbender. And then when she shoots the logo over there, she's like traumatized and mesmerized and loses herself and starts attacking the little girl. And even when one of the guys, when Paulino tried to whack Okja, let the little girl alone, the girl's like, don't you get hurt. Don't you dare hit my pet. So in the meantime, when all this happens, the elf ends up transmitting what happened from first person perspective onto the TV screens, and they show the brutality, the breeding of forced trauma, and everything else that happened. This whole thing in the 5 minutes that we see it, and then everyone like, oh man, this program is very bad. Now they were giving out free samples of I'm assuming it's Okja's meat. It could be another pig meat, something about it. But everyone else probably like spitting out on the floor, and probably really disgusted their bite. Especially now that they know that it's like blood meat. It's like tainted now, because everyone always sold on the fact that, oh yeah, let's cut this newfangled super pig and so great. We all want all the respect honoring all that stuff. And all the farmers are very delighted to take care of the pigs and stuff. But when they saw this video of the picking bees and essentially raped by a monster, it shows that that the crew was run away, so that's no longer cheery and playful and delightful and sunny and stuff. That these creatures feel like complete garbage, feel like animals, less than animals, and the humans that do this are the real animals. So anyway, they have their Okja is captured again, but this time the more cool and more bitter and more business-oriented twin sister Nancy comes into play, and she's more about killing the animals, making a profit, killing the animals, and business, profit. So she's a colder, more boring to her little sister, which she says is naive and a loser. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? I mean, who's the monster in this family? Not Lucy. It's although you could make the argument for Lucy is more of a monster because she hides everything and she pretends that everything is all sunny and musical and fantastical and all this stuff. She knows full well what's going on. Whereas the other one is more cold and more believable as a human Satanist and all this stuff. So anyway, it show they show Okja being taken away, the kid and the guy are separated. They beat up the guy, they hold her away from him, and they eventually let her go. Good, no one wants to be associated with capturing a little kid. So they end up taking Okja away to a factory, and the animal liberation will follow them, and they're gonna liberate Okja. And they see one of these factories, like the way it's from that factory farm. What? Miles and miles of Okja-like creatures, and me all led to being slaughtered. It's this little girl, Major, always calling out Okja's name and seeing a little baby Okja there with the parents, and you see them all being happy and stuff because they know their fate. They know that their time has come. They know that their kids, the babies, will be meat, all of that. And the show what happened into the factory too. They take a hippo-sized animal, and then they do what they do with cows. They knock on the head with a gun, and that kills them one shot. In like a big computer unit, in like a big tumble unit. And when the animal ends up dying, they end up flopping over on the side, and then they cut up the meat, and they show some guy going, down the meat, down with a big knife or a big chainsaw, going straight down and then cutting them up. Really, really nice and pretty. But I want to see what a hippo looks like on the inside. So they have something where they have to keep running around in there, and then they end up I think the kid actually hit one of the dead carcasses, actually slam into the kid, which, okay, granted, she's not supposed to be in there at all. But wouldn't that be like a OSHA violation, something or other? Just having a animal carcass the size, hanging around and moving on chain with no protection, no railing, anything else. Wouldn't that be like a major violation of some sort? And then have blood and all kind of liquidy stuff on the ground. People could easily slip on it. Yeah, I would think that'd be a major violation of some sort. Especially with I read the jungle and like Sinclair, and then I had Hamburger afterwards. So yeah, that would be like a few OSHA violations because it says in paragraph. So anyway, they have Okja actually looking back to see the major, and right before the little girl can actually go in there and help him out, she calls up to Okja, and the guy behind him teleports Okja into the factory house, and then Okja is next one in line to be killed. And right when the guy puts the gun to Okja's big fat head and is about to pull the trigger, Major comes over to the guy and he shows him the picture, which is like kind of interesting because how could he tell the difference between what the creature that's right in front of him to the one that she's holding in the picture, she's tugging? It's kind of odd. So anyway, she lets him go, and the girl Nancy's like, we peel off that pig, it's my property. So hand it over, let me kill it, let me make my profit for it. We need to sell to the Chinese, we need to sell to a high bidder for high restaurants. Everything but the steel is edible. We eat them. I don't know about the bones. The bones, I can't see anyone actually eating. Maybe for soups and stuff. I can't see him actually eating bones. But everything except for the steel is edible, which is a popular phrase again. So, anyway. Then the kid reaches into her fanny pack, and she reveals that she's got a so-called pig trophy that her grandfather gave her. And just to show that money is meaningless to her, she takes the pig and slides it on the ground with all dirt and blood and everything else. And Gus from Breaking Bad. I can't pronounce the name, so Gus from Joe picks up and gives it to her. It's a criminal offense. She actually bites it. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I do. When you're kind of old, like I am, you remember people doing this, but they actually take a coin, like take a gold coin, and they bite it to make sure that it's real. I never did that when I was a kid. But anyway, she takes the pig, bites down hard on it, and says, this is real. This is very valuable. You know, it's it's a deal. I'll trade you this for Okja. You know, that's the one thing to understand. Money. You know, your little pig for my big pig. That's something. So she said, Okja was a failure. You know, this kid wants it, so it's a failure. So it's okay to give it to her. So really nice to see the kid confidently throwing out of the place. Very confident saying that she bugged the system and that she's gone back where her precious Okja. Especially for the matter that she moved them into so much. They were ecstatic to see each other again. They were it was so nice to see them reunited again, and they think Okja got over her madness when Major hugged her. And it was really nice to see Major writing Okja like a deed. And that was really impressive. What was also really nice was that on the way out, the mom pig and the papa pig held up the electric fence so that the little baby piglet could be shoved underneath it. And then Okja took it in his mouth and saved the little baby piglet. That was really sweet because it was too young to die. And then you see the parents going, go bye my little piglet. Go meet Pooh Bear somewhere. So that was actually really fun. The movie was real fun. I don't know how much it will cost. I don't know how much it will cost to ship an animal that size, but because the little girl Major was a paid customer, Nancy made sure that the get an Okja made it back home with all expenses paid. And that the kid ended up being happy with the grandfather saying, oh God, not to another one. Oh me, oh my, what the hell did you do? Me and Big Sheen, you got your pig back. She's your property. She's your property now. And then we got another pig. Wait until Okja gives birth after a traumatic experience. That should be very interesting. I smell like woman coming, and then the driver of the truck will be like, okay, you don't pay me enough for this. So then they show that the little baby Okja is over there, just popping everywhere and making nuisance on himself until grandfather told him to keep still, not make a big fuss about everything. So, I really like this movie. The length that the kids go through for her pet is very real awesome and really sweet. They have a real good bond between them two. I think that maybe could also have something to do with the fact that both of them are women, both of them are female. So I guess that may have something to do with it too. I think that because Okja went through so much as a female of their species has to do with it too. And the fact that the little girl made up will do it stuff like that in the future too may have something to do with it. But they'll always be there for each other. Much more than, say, other movies in the same genre. The person can get pet, and he's here to pet till death. Anyway, I know that the animal is CGI. I know that all the other misfires, the genetic code, were misfires as well. I know that everything was misfired, but was CGI. But which is such a good creative way of making her being able to ride this thing like an animal, like a horse or something. That was really special and really nice. I like this a lot. It was very heartwarming, it was very emotional, and it was very tearful when they were actually able to reunite, among other things too. Among all the hardships, it was so nice to see them back together again. And let's see here. Yeah, now I'm in the mood for a nice ham sandwich now, for whatever reason. I can't imagine why. But yeah. And you know what I'm gonna say, right? That'll do, people. That'll do. But anyway, I thank you for watching my video about Okja. It was for Asian History Month in May of 2026. It was freaking awesome. The movie from in Korea, South Korea, and but I would like to see what would happen if you took North Korean's English from this movie, because it's all in Korean except for the English actors. So they pretty much would get the gist of it. This movie, this Netflix produced movie, definitely earns this hobby face too. And so does the girl. So honey, she definitely deserves it. I could still see her wearing these type of glasses when she said, okay, I'll give you this. Give me my pig back. Because it was written. It shows that the girl is more emotional and more mature than the average person of her age. I love it when you look. Okja! Okja! That's really a point. Really poignant. Plus, there's always a mention of, where GMO I'm called for genome-modified organisms are a thing, and if they should be properly maintained too. So this is that too. But I won't get into that now. But if you like what you hear and you want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also comment me for future information on my videos, but call me or text me at 631-707-3707, or you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PNelsonPro. Also, you can get my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, if all you South Koreans out there who enjoy this type of material, I enjoy it. Dino films. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Interland. Wink, wink. Pick power in the house.